Welcome to the Tea Hut, the podcast for unorthodox entrepreneurs striving for success by going against the grain, breaking down barriers beyond the biscuit tin, revealing what property professionals and construction workers really talk about on their tea breaks. Join us as we delve deep to uncover what it takes to succeed and be the best version of yourself.
Welcome to the Tea Hut podcast, the podcast for unorthodox entrepreneurs where we break down the barriers that go way beyond the biscuit tin. Big up to eGrowth Media for their support and sponsorship. If you're looking for lead generation or social media management, then get in contact with eGrowth Media straight away. Do not delay. And today, I'm absolutely buzzing to have my next guest in the Tea Hut HQ. And his name is Stu. And for anyone that doesn't know Stu Crompton, we've got like Bricklaying God in the studio right now. So I'm going to pass it over to Stu. I'll let him introduce himself and give us a little bit of a brief background, Stu, for anyone that don't know who you are, what you do, and introduce yourself, please, bud.
Yeah, well, my name's Stu Crompton. I've been into bricklaying for the last 18 years and trying to move into property now. Started a YouTube channel in 2014 and did a mixture of content. And then it just took off from there because I took my camera along to a conservatory-based job and put it on YouTube, and it just went viral. So
Is that how that started?
Yeah, really, yeah.
So you just had one idea one day and just thought, I'll just give that a try.
Well, no, I did a mixture of content for a couple of years on YouTube since 2014. And then I was doing vlogs and football videos, golf videos, comedy videos, just throwing a load of muck at the wall.
Yeah,
and,
seeing what stuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I just took my camera along to a conservatory base, which I built with my friend, Gaz.
Yeah.
And I put it on, never thought anything of it, and it just went viral. And I thought, bloody hell, what's this like, you know? So,
were you expecting that?
Not really, no.
No?
I was just... And then I just carried on doing a mixture of content for a couple of years, and I thought, this isn't working. I need to stick to something properly. And the bricklaying was doing well. It was getting received really well, so I just stuck with that and focused solely on the bricklaying then, and it just went from strength to strength, you know. It enabled me to get the academy, which I started in 2018. So I got that sorted and started teaching. So and it's just gone.
So how's that going for you? The teaching? Do you like teaching people?
I love it actually, Robbie, but it's been difficult because I think at this point now I'm just pulling myself in a lot of directions. Yeah, you know, and it's gonna spreading myself a little bit too
spinning
thin.
Too many plates.
Yeah, too many, mate. So I need to start thinking properly and going into property now. I think that's my main focus. So I need to really sharpen my pencil and get focused on that. And I can't be pulling myself in too many different directions. So even though I love teaching, I think I may be closing next year because my term is up on the academy next August. So I'm probably going to be leaving there just to solely focus on the things that matter, really. Yeah. Because that's where my heart is, really. Even though I love teaching, it's been a great experience, and I've given it a good crack. You know, I really enjoyed it. Met loads of good people. Yeah. Lots of good people. Lots of good colleges willing to help out and stuff. It's been a fantastic experience, but it's just not really working. You know, I'm doing everything on my own, so, you know.
It's almost a shame to hear you say that you feel like you've got to give that up.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's something that obviously you find great value from.
Of course.
By giving back to, you know, people who want to learn a new skill. Yeah. And that's obviously very rewarding from a value perspective, not necessarily a financial, because... Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's probably what hurts, is that you're putting a lot of your time and effort and emotion into it, and it just ain't paying your bills, or it ain't giving you what you need.
Exactly.
You know, and as much as it might be value rewarding to give back, you can only do that for so long before you're a broke motherfucker with empty dreams and hopes, isn't it though?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly right.
Have you not thought about leveraging out and scaling up that and having someone else do all your fucking admin, your marketing for it, and you are just the person? Like, you know, but at the end of the day, people are coming to be mentored and taught by you, right? That's why they're coming to your academy rather than going to some other night course down the road or whatever. Yeah. So have you not thought? You probably have. I mean,
I have thought about it, but I'm thinking headaches all the time, Robbie.
You still feel like you'd probably have to micromanage.
Yeah, exactly.
To make it work.
And again, looking at it, I'm just thinking, if I need to make it work, I need to focus solely on it 100%. That really. And I could make it work, but then that's all I'll be doing. And I'll be stuck in the academy every day.
Yeah. Well, I suppose when it's only you as an individual and you haven't got like, you know, with me and the guys at Goldbrooke Homes, there's 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
So there's a group of us. So it enables each of us to do different things. So we haven't all got to be solely focused on making one thing happen.
Yeah.
We can have 3 or 4 of us doing different things that all feed into that one common goal. Whereas when you're an individual and you're trying to do 2 or 3 different things to feed into one common goal, you're spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah.
You're not having anyone else pick up slack in other areas because it's you picking up the slack from yourself.
Yeah.
So you can't fucking go any harder than you're already going.
No.
Can you?
No, it's just it's almost impossible to do all the things I'm doing. And it's just I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, you know. I'm like, why am I doing this, you know?
If you why do you feel like you're that what's the word? Sporadic, you know? Is there a reason behind that, do you think? Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I just think I'm in constant development of myself, you know. Been through a few tough times in the past and got to a point sometimes where I just thought, right, so that you're going to have to go for something and just, again, throw muck at the wall and see what sticks. See what your capabilities are. And really, when I started to achieve things, I just thought, well, just keep going. I mean, you never know what you can achieve, you know, if you just keep trying different things. And if it doesn't work, pack it in, try the next thing.
Try again, try something else.
Yeah. Don't limit yourself.
That's the entrepreneur spirit in you then.
I guess so, Robbie.
That's
100%.
what I think. I think, you know, I've never been employed by someone else. I've always been self-employed. And I've always held myself accountable for my own destiny. You know, if I don't like something, I'll just fuck off and go and do something else somewhere else. And that's my, you know, could be in self-employed. You can do that, right? So where did your journey start? Like, you know, into construction. How did that come about? Like, have you always been, you know, the type of lad that will go out and build dens? And is that how you got into building? How did that look? What was school like? What was, you know, tell me a bit about, you know, teenage Stu. What happened before?
Well, I grew up in Wigan, working class background.
Yeah.
You know, it was...
you're close to your dad as well, I see. Yeah. That's nice.
Very close to my dad and family. I've got 3 sisters. I grew up in a small household. My mum and dad are still there.
Yeah.
So I grew up in, like, with 3 sisters, no brothers. So not much of a masculine household there, you know, so the upbringing was like that.
Are you the eldest?
No, my sister Lindsay is the eldest.
Okay.
I'm the second.
Okay.
Great childhood.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our values are good, you know, from humble beginnings. Good family, working class world. And I think a lot of it is the way we're conditioned from that standpoint, you know.
Yeah. Stick together.
Mum and dad adopt their beliefs and values from their granddads, and it gets passed on to us.
I think that's been lost these days, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it has. But I think it can trap you into that mentality, so it makes you
limits you.
Yeah, it can limit you in a way. So I think we're conditioned to some degree from that standpoint.
Yeah.
So
from a place of love, though.
Yeah, from a place of love, 100%.
You know, because it's like you're saying, like your dad has probably given you advice from his point of view over the years, and you probably stood there and thought, "Fucking hell,
yeah.
Come on, I know what I'm doing," like, or have some faith in me or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so I went through school, didn't really try because I was golfing since the age of 7.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be a professional golfer. My dad used to take me up and down the country, playing in competitions as a junior. I was quite good at that level, and I just thought, right, I'm going to become a pro golfer.
Yeah, this is me.
That was it. I didn't try in school, weren't interested, never liked it anyway.
You thought you were already there, weren't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, never really got the coaching I needed. My dad just said, right, just go on the practice ground, 8 hours a day, and
coach yourself.
That should do it.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work because I had a major swing fault. So I was going on the practice ground, practicing
your bad swing.
A bad swing, not 8 hours a day. So I got to a certain level when I was about 16, 4 handicap, something like that, which is pretty good. But I just couldn't get any further.
Yeah.
And as a guy I was playing with at the time, in competition with him, he was Nick Doherty. He actually made it as a professional, and just not to compare, but he got the coaching. His dad was rich, and he lived on a golf course, you know. And soon, when he was about 15, Nick Faldo took him under his wing,
just went
boom, straight onto the European tour. You know, just like
got that break,
and it just, you know, it a bit of a sucker punch. Did that, you know? Yeah, a lot.
Did
of course,
it knock your confidence.
Of course it did, and it makes you feel like a failure. It's like, now what? I didn't try at school. Hated it.
You'd spent the last the whole of your childhood
since age 7
with that dream.
with a dream like
Dashed.
that gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
it's
did
tough.
that feel?
Well, it's sickening, really,
Yeah.
and to accept it, and it's just like you're a bit lost, aren't you? What do you do then? You know,
Yeah.
after you've worked for something for so long.
And you thought that was a dead cert.
Yeah,
Because you have to believe that,
Of
don't you? When
course.
I mean, it's the same with anything, and to be a success, I think with anything, you've got to believe that you can be successful before you've even tasted success.
yeah, for sure.
So how did that affect you after, when you got to that realization? What happened then?
Well, it was a bit bitter, obviously. I mean, I still enjoy my golf, still play today.
Yeah.
With my dad as much as I can. But yeah, and less thinking about it professional. But it was just got to a point there where I was thinking, right, now what do I do? So I just ended up working with my dad.
Yeah.
And he was doing the windows and doors at that time.
Was that what you used to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So straight from that, working with my dad, windows and doors. Didn't really enjoy it, but it was just a job.
Money. something to do.
Arguing every day with my dad, fighting.
Yeah.
Anybody that works with a dad
Yeah.
will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just different ideas.
It's like working with family, though, and I get that.
Yeah, but we're completely different personalities
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know, so we just clash with everything. Whatever I say, it's completely the opposite.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You still work together, didn't you?
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. But
Selectively.
yeah, selectively. Yeah.
Yeah.
We measured up a window job the other day, so hopefully going to do that soon.
Yeah. I bet that's nice, though, isn't it? Like that you do get to spend that time with him.
It is now. It is now.
It is now. You've obviously where you are. You're an adult now.
Because we're older, yeah, I respect,
Yeah.
my dad and family, and it's great to spend all that time with them,
Yeah. Sorry. So you went to fitting windows. You didn't really like it.
Didn't really like it. Had a few fallouts with my dad here and there where I'd just go off and had a couple of experiences with factory work, so that was
I've been there, mate.
interested.
Yeah.
I lasted 5 days.
Yeah. I said to someone yesterday, I'd done a week, and that was it. I couldn't do it.
5 days in an ice cream factory.
I done ice cream factory. What? Just in like the warehouse?
In the warehouse.
In the boxes.
The full nets.
Yes.
Looked
mate.
like an idiot.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is horrible.
Yes.
The worst thing is, Robbie, I'll never forget it. I was doing a shift with a guy called Dave. He'd been there 20 years. He absolutely loved it. I was like,
And I
whoa.
bet his bonus would be like a box of fucking Magnums at the end of the week or some shit.
He loved it, and it was like a prison.
Yeah.
It was like a prison. I couldn't believe it. I
It's
thought,
dead end, isn't it?
yeah. But I just thought, this is not for me.
Mm.
So I was back with my dad then, after that fallout, and then I had another job where I lasted 1 day in JJB factory wrapping boxes. 1 9-hour shift. I thought, I'm never
Fuck
coming
this.
to a factory ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did that cement it for you? Was that like, right, I know now that I've tried that one, I've tried this, same sort of job.
yeah.
I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person.
How old were you then?
I was about 18, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And I was when I was 17, I applied for the army. It just lost.
You just trying anything.
Just trying, no direction.
You needed a
My
purpose.
dad didn't know what to do with me. He's not business minded. Mum wasn't. She was working in factories, just doing what they could, just to
They were
provide
just
for us.
helping you with their own, all they knew.
yeah, exactly.
Get a job, come on.
I mean, there's 4 of us, and they're just trying the best.
Yeah.
They're doing whatever they can.
Yeah.
Mum was working in a pork scratching factory, cake factory. Dad was doing concreting, plastering, whatever.
Yeah.
Just to put bread on the table.
Yeah.
You only realise what they did for you
when
you
you're
get a bit
in it.
older.
Yeah, when
you
you've
get-
got to do the same shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
respect it, because it must have been really tough.
Yeah.
Even to just, I look at my sisters, they've got 1, 2 children, they're like, it's really difficult,
Yeah. It is,
So,
mate. It's
you know what I
fucking
mean?
hard. You ain't got kids yet, have
No, but we are trying at the minute.
you? Yeah,
so,
it's hard, man. It's
yeah.
hard. Good luck to the
Thanks.
by the way.
Thanks, Robbie.
So, all right, so you're 17, 18,
Applied for the army.
applied for the army.
Yeah, I think it was about 18 actually. Applied for the army, and I did my bar exam, was ready to go in there, and then I got a job offer by my cousin in a car salesman place,
Oh, really?
working for Rover, and they just started selling scooters, so they needed a sales executive, and so I took that job and sacked the army off. Thought, I sod it, put a suit on, be right.
Give that a go.
Give
Totally different.
Give that a go. Got sacked.
Did you? Why? Underperformance?
There was a meeting in Rotherham,
Right.
and the boss, Les Berry, says, right, so I've got your train ticket sorted for this meeting next week. Yeah, no problem. The day before the day, he goes, are you right for your train? I went, yeah, no problem. I hadn't booked the train ticket. Jumped on my scooter on the motorway. Took the L plates off.
Did you?
Tire flapping in the wind.
Really?
Next minute, police pulled me over. Oh, shit, busted. But the thing is, it was a 125, so I was thinking it goes.
All right.
It goes 70 mile an hour. This thing, it was lightning.
Yeah.
So I thought it was all right. I was going faster than the cars.
Nice.
Anyway, that was a learning curve. Got sacked from there. That was awkward. But then you learn. You just
was that a company scooter?
Was
that a company scooter or was that yours?
It was a company scooter. Yeah.
So they fucking took that back as well.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
So that was fun. Brilliant. But that was sour. Just back home, no job, bloody hell. Back with my dad working again.
Feeling like shit.
Yeah. I come up with an invention when I was 20 years old. Voice activated spell check. And I devised this unit.
Yeah.
Where you'd speak into it. It was like a box. And it would have different accents registering.
Yeah.
And whatever, it was to combat for dyslexia.
Oh, really?
It's like a spell check.
Yeah.
You speak into it, it recognises the word, and it displays it on the screen.
Okay.
I did a full paperwork on it.
Did you?
Sent it off to a company.
Yeah.
And they come back and said, that's a great idea, that, Stu.
Thanks.
We need to... Cheers.
Yeah. You patented that.
He said, what we need to do next steps is a worldwide patent search. We need £500. Told my mum and dad, oh, it's a scam. Scam that. So that idea went out the window then. Couldn't take that any further. Obviously, I didn't have 500 quid at 20. And lo and behold, now you're speaking to your phone and... You know, you never know what could happen. That was
Stu Crompton was the original inventor of the voice-activated dictionary.
Well, yeah, you never know.
Oh, mate.
But
how did you feel about that? Was that a little bit of a fucking? Oh.
Well, it's just another failure notched on the board. And then what happened from there is I just continued working with my dad and stuff. And actually, my sister's boyfriend at the time, Natalie, her boyfriend Stu, he's a bricklayer. He needed a lift on site, labouring. I said, I'll do it. I had another fallout with my dad.
Fuck it, I'll go and try this.
Dad, I'm off.
Yeah.
And did labouring for them for 2 years. It was all right, hard work.
Yeah.
Really hard work. But I thought, it's a good job, this. I like it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, they were earning 1,500 quid at the time.
Yeah.
I thought, I want to do this. I want to be a bricklayer. It looks easy.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah.
And they said, right, we'll put you through your time. After the 2 years, slaving for them. So they put me through my time at Wigan College. 2 years.
What were you, early 20s at this point?
Yeah, early 20s. I think it was 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I loved the college. Got through my time. Found out I really, really enjoyed the job. I had a tough time with them guys, though. They weren't good to me. They were pretty bad, pretty...
In what way? What, dog you in that way?
Yeah, used to treat me like shite,
Yeah.
Bad mouthed me. I was basically a
bully you, basically.
Taxi driver for them.
Yeah.
Really top. Stu was actually all right. He was a neat bricklayer. It was Tony, the other lad. Treat me like shite.
Yeah.
Really controlling, tyrannical. Used to phone me up at the weekend, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, bother me at the weekend and stuff like that.
Fuck off, mate.
Yeah, pay me peanuts, 161 quid a week. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll never forget one day, Tony come up to my home and to pay me minimum wage, 161 quid. Screwed it up and threw it out the window on the floor. Now, we live in a cul-de-sac where everybody can see the top of the street. It's like an arena.
Yeah.
And I'm there scraping, picking a rolling pound coin up. I thought it was really degrading that moment.
Wanker.
Yeah, I thought that was awful.
Yeah.
And I thought...
Why did he do that to you?
He just loved that type of stuff.
That was just his attitude.
Yeah. How could you treat people like that, Robbie?
Fuck, I couldn't.
No, I could never treat anybody
like that.
No.
Not unless, don't get me wrong. If I feel something's warranted, then I'll treat people how their behaviour. Not always, but I would. But that is just.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It's bang out of order. It's like you got a kick out of it. I don't
know
why.
He's just seeing you scrabble around the floor, picking your pounds up.
Yeah. But you got a kick out of it on site as well. But I think I was a bit of a weakling as well on site, so that doesn't bode me well.
Yeah, but so you're quite. You come. I mean, you'll come across as quite a reserved, quiet sort of guy. Not necessarily loud and outlandish.
No, not really.
So, and as well as I do. I mean, you just said it there that in a building site environment, that can be seen as a weakness.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I totally get it looking back.
Yeah.
But so I had to toughen myself up a bit. I had a lot to do on myself, work on myself, not be treated like I was.
Yeah.
So I don't blame myself. I don't blame them lads.
You had to learn, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to learn the hard way. I'm all for banter. Don't get me wrong. I love a laugh on site.
It's different though. Bullying and banter's fucking different, isn't it?
Yeah, I said there's a fine line, isn't there? But you know, it's
which often gets blurred. I mean, because I've been guilty of it when you've gone hard on a lad for a day. And at the end of the day, you can physically see in his face that you've made him upset. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, maybe I've pushed the line here.
Well, yeah, that's it. And you never know what they're feeling. I mean, it got to a point where I was like feeling physically sick.
Really?
About going to work on the Monday morning because I knew I was in for a rough ride.
Yeah.
But I got through my time and I thought, as soon as I get my papers, I'm off. I could have left earlier on. I could have quit, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I kept going. There were many times where they didn't pay us. They said, "Oh, you've done this wrong. You've got a course of pig in this brickwork, and we've had to take this down." They never took anything down. Never, just didn't want to pay us.
Yeah.
So I just could never treat anyone like that. And we've had young lads working for us, and I've just been right with them. You know, just think about that all the time. But there you go. You learn, and it makes you stronger. I think
you grow, don't you? You grow up and you learn, and like that. In that environment, I say it to people all the time, and people who have never worked in construction or on a building site, it's a different sort of environment to work in.
Yeah.
It's not like a factory.
No.
It's not like any other environment I've ever experienced in a workplace, like where you can get away with pretty much saying what the fuck you want to someone.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah.
But you can't really.
I think there's just a form of like entertainment on site. You've got to keep yourself
it's
entertained.
Mundane, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, some days can be tough. The weather's shit. It's cold.
Yeah.
You know, you've all got to keep spirits up somehow. And banter's the only way to do it sometimes, isn't it? You pick on someone's fucking ugly hairdo or boots or holes in their trousers or whatever it fucking is, and you rip it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's that. True. I've always found it as it's like a coping mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah.
For how much it drains. I mean, I've been on site. I mean, I'm from a groundworks perspective, so. But, you know, most of the brickies I see on site when it was raining, they were fucking off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're still out there digging holes and trenches and putting drainage in, and all the other trades are gone. Or unless you're indoors, you're gone home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from our point of view on the ground, it was always just like, this is hard work. Like, this is like warfare. Like, there's no other job out there that would make you suffer this bullshit. You know, you'd have a little tent to get under and that, but no, not when you're doing drainage or paving. You're fucking getting out there and fucking doing it, boys.
Do it.
Yeah.
And don't stop,
No, it's hard. It's hard. So rolling back. So what happened then? So you finished your college?
Yeah. Well, I finished my college, finished my papers, got my MBQ level 2. I didn't want to do the 3 because I didn't want to carry on with them lads. As soon as I was finished with my time, I went with another gang of bricklayers. They were fantastic. Called Davies and Ingram. They were brilliant, working on loads of different jobs, site jobs, private jobs, foreigners.
Better gang of blokes?
Yeah, really good. Enjoyed it. Fantastic. But then I kind of just fizzled out with those guys, and then I was just doing little jobs myself then.
Yeah.
And then working with my dad, just like tying them both together.
Yeah.
Just a bit more of a freelancer, you know, doing things like
that. Yeah.
And then just, that was that really. Just started doing my own little jobs. And I did have another idea. Where are we now? This is like 2010, something like that. This is where I was fascinated with the internet. The internet was really kicking off, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Started learning loads of things on the internet.
Yeah.
Graphic design, web design, HTML, CSS, making websites, coding language, video editing. I was like obsessed with learning skills.
Yeah.
Because it was free.
I was
like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was just hungry to learn more. And so I learned all those skills. And I thought, right, okay, I could do things with these now. So I eventually just wanted to start making websites. My sister at the time in 2008, she said she wanted website designing, and she got quoted $5,000. So I said, give me 4 months.
Give me $1,000.
Give me 4 months. I'll have your website. 4 months later, I got her first website. She was made up. I did a couple more websites from there on, but it got to a point there where I was just thinking, it's going to get a bit easier to make a website, and people are going to be able to do it themselves. So I'm
drag and drop sort
drag
of
and drop. I could see it all coming. So I thought, I'm not focusing on this now.
Yeah,
it's going
to get harder and harder to
to make money, because people just do it themselves. And you can literally click a button,
Wix.
Robbie.
Yeah, mate.
Click a button, 2 minutes, done.
Yeah.
So I was right.
Yeah. I'm glad you. Yeah, probably in hindsight, I bet you're glad you made that move.
But still, skills like that, online skills, Robbie, they've really stood me in good stead. Like especially the video editing,
100%.
obviously, the graphic design,
Yeah.
which is really good for branding.
Yeah.
So those two together are the most powerful things you can learn, I think, and you can do it yourself.
100%.
You know.
Yeah.
You can
Key bit of advice for anyone listening to this now, right?
Mm.
You know, if anyone's out there and thinking, how can I start my thing? I've got an idea, don't know what to do. Like, the internet is such a powerful tool for marketing and getting yourself out there. All you've got to do is get, like, you know, budget, basic camera, learn some video editing, which you can do freely and easily on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can get many different softwares, right? So it's so easy to do.
Easy.
Yeah.
You can do everything on your phone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Everything,
you haven't even got to buy a camera anymore.
You've got a phone and fingers. That's it.
Yeah. And no, you're right. And
No.
I think, and let's just roll into, like, so from there, when did you start the YouTube?
So after I learned all those skills and I was obsessed with that, made the website and stuff, I decided to have another bash at a company.
Your own company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some products designed from China, some Bluetooth speakers, and I thought, right, I'll design this website. And just had to go selling consumer electronics.
Okay.
I think that was around 2014 time, 2013. And yeah, made the website, got the products, $2,500 I think I spent. All this is money I didn't have. Bought loads of equipment and stuff, you know. And that was a massive failure too.
Really?
Because like nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
So, like, I had a really good website. I had social media pages. Like, just like nobody bought anything.
No.
I had a market stall in Wigan, trying to sell to 80-year-olds. It's like that didn't work.
Yeah.
But I tried again, and that after that one, it was like,
What now?
I'm like running out of things here. I'm getting really depressed.
Yeah.
Because everything's failing.
Were you still doing construction throughout this whole?
Yeah,
like, still working.
I was still doing bits, but my heart wasn't really in it, Robbie. You know, because
why?
Because working with my dad, that was stressing me out. Because we didn't get on every day. It was hard.
Yeah.
You know,
putting strain on your personal relationship when it doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah, and I did get the odd job here or there in bricklaying, which kept me going, which was fine. I enjoyed the bricklaying.
Yeah.
But again, working with people, it's like working for lads, you know, and they were dictating everything. I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Downfall or
no, I'm the same. I like to. Well, I say that I'm unemployable.
Yeah. Well, I'm similar, Robbie, because I don't like being told what to do.
I'm not afraid to say, look, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And people, when you're working for someone, they don't want to hear that.
No.
A lot of the time, they just want you to do as you're told.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but actually, not so long ago, I did a job for a friend. He wanted a summer house building. He's a plumber. He's got his own business, and it was raining and all the blocks were wet. I said, I can't do it today. I know you've stacked the blocks up for me, and thanks very much for doing that. But you've not covered them properly. The water's hit the floor. It's wet all the blocks. He went, what do you mean? It's all right. It's all right. I said, no. I'm the bricklayer. I'm telling you, it's going to make my job a nightmare and less productive.
Fucking sliding all over the place.
Got another bricklayer in. We had a big bit of a fallout, and he paid me short. I was like,
really?
I got my tools and I buggered off, you know, that day.
Fucking hell.
So,
and he was a friend.
Yeah. But things like that happen all the time, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
So where was we now with that? What was I going?
So I asked you when you started the YouTube, and obviously you said about the electronic business you started.
So that failed, didn't it? And I was like, going through a rough patch, and I just thought, right, I need to do something here. So I started the YouTube channel. It gave me a bit of confidence boost, bit of a hope, and I thought I could put all my skills, what I'd learned, video editing, graphic design,
all together.
All the SEO about websites, how it's structured, because Google is like YouTube's a search engine, you know what I mean? So I could use all them tools, package them up into one, and start something. Yeah. So that's when I started the YouTube channel, 2014. Yeah. Made a video in my mum and dad's bedroom, still living at home at the time. Yeah. And just went from there. A few comedy videos. People have thought I'd lost the plot. I had a little bit.
Yeah. Just desperate.
Just desperation.
Are they still online to watch?
No, I've took a lot of them off. I've still got them though.
Have you? You have to send me one to have a look.
I will, Robbie. I did this video once called 9 Types of Drivers.
Was it like a skit?
Comedy sketch. 9 Types of Drivers. Did the guy in the suit, guy singing along, just daft things.
Just feel it, I've done similar. It's funny hearing you say this because I was recording stupid videos of myself before YouTube. Yeah. And putting it on my own. It's honestly so funny. I've actually just listened to you explain your journey, and like you taught yourself HTML coding, CCS, and all that stuff. I did the same, and I used to make they used to call them, when I was a little bit younger, E-Fed websites, and it was about wrestlers, and used to get people join up in fantasy E-Fed websites and pretend to be wrestlers and role play on there, yeah. And I used to build them, and like similar to you, I had a really good flair for tech, video, and stuff like that, but never really used it until now. So sorry, I didn't mean to just jump in. I just wanted
No.
So the YouTube, you started the YouTube, you recorded your first video.
Yeah, just recorded some crazy videos, even did some public ones. Oh, cringe. Dancing around a Wigan in a Christmas jumper.
Really?
Oh, sweating thinking about that.
Really? See, I done similar. I'll say it, right? I videoed myself on my nan's garage roof in my pants doing a stupid dance to Michael Jackson. No, honest to God, I was about 14, 13 at the time. I was young. Like, I'm going back to, like, I was young, before YouTube. Had I done it at the time YouTube kicked off, I'd have probably been a sensation by now. I was doing some stupid things, but like you, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
in a way, you wouldn't have done it if you didn't enjoy it, would you?
No, exactly. But as well, it was keeping me occupied.
Was that taking your mind off something else?
Yeah, I was deeply depressed at that moment. It was just keeping me busy.
Why were you depressed?
Just all the failures and just taking knocks and stuff like that.
Was it because at that point in your life, you were probably nowhere near where you thought you would be?
Yeah, there's that element to it. You know, there's something deep inside you. You know, you're not performing as you should be.
You're probably still regretting the golf at that point as well, weren't you? You're probably still thinking about why was I never that good? Or why did I never get there? I could have been fucking over there by now.
Yeah.
You know, have you always been self-critical?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, a bit too hard on myself.
Yeah. Are you still like that?
In a way, yeah, but I've got better at it. Yeah, I'm just trying to basically live up to my capability, and I think we're all capable of being more than we think we are. You know, Robbie.
Yeah.
So I think that there's an element of that, and as you start to try new things, you realise it's true, and you can achieve more than you think if you push yourself, and if you actually do the things. You know,
have a bit of self-belief.
Yeah.
But
like I say, it goes back from our conditioning, our values, where we're from. We're meant to be limited, and like just get a job, be quiet, don't say anything,
don't stick your head above the parapet.
Yeah. You know, so it's in our conditioning. So it's like almost fighting against the grain all the time, against the waves, against the way you've been conditioned.
What made you feel? I mean, I try and pinpoint this in myself sometimes, and I struggle sometimes to give a definitive answer to it. But why did you feel like you had that ability to stick your head above the parapet? Why did you feel like you could go against the grain and be different to your family, your peers? Why? What made you feel like that?
Well, it's a good question. I just think it's...
was it just a feeling? Like you just weren't content?
Just a pathway to discovery, I guess. You know, you do one thing that's outside the norm.
You thought you couldn't do.
Making the stupid videos.
Yeah.
People are like, well, is your steward okay? Has he lost the plot?
Yeah.
So I was like, right. So then I was just doing crazy things. Went for singing lessons, acting lessons to improve my confidence on camera.
Really?
And I went to act, and I found out I loved acting. And I ended up in bloody acting in plays in Winsford.
Did you really?
I've done some in Wigan. It's been like things you think you can't do. Like remember a 3-hour script in your head, live on a stage in front of 2,000 people.
Yeah,
like. Thinking about that gives me chills, but I've done it. You know what I mean? And at one point you just think, I could never do that. I could never remember that, but you can. You could probably do it if you're forced in that situation.
Yeah.
It's just crazy things like that. So just achieving things like that, you just think, right, well, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, and then
I could do anything. Fuck me. Yeah, well, that's crazy.
That's it. And so the acting gave me a bit of confidence on camera, and I just carried on with the YouTube and just trying to find my feet with that. Obviously the criticism's difficult to you know.
This is what I was going to say. So for anyone that doesn't know Stu, how many followers you got on YouTube subs?
I think it's 240 now.
You got 240,
but settled down.
You've also got 400,000 on your Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Which is a high number.
Yeah.
So how is that in itself? Because as an outsider looking in who doesn't know you or aspires to be an influencer. In inverted commas, because I don't really like that word.
No, I don't.
Do you know? But I will say it.
Yeah.
But because there are people that aspire to be. And what's been the hardest thing about that for you? Like, not the growing of it, and but you've obviously got, you're gonna. I get a certain level of stick, and I'm no one. I'll post a video on YouTube or TikTok, and someone calls me a fat cunt. And I'm a no one. You know, I've got like 500 followers, so I can only imagine that with 500,000 or 250,000 on your YouTube, that you get a fucking that times 100. So what's that like? How's that been like for you?
It's difficult in the beginning, but you develop a thicker skin.
Yeah.
You know, because you just want to make content for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, because they didn't train me that well, the lads I've worked with, I was a bit clueless. So I was uploading bricklaying videos with, you can imagine how many mistakes.
Yeah.
And the warriors were out in force.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, not everyone is a hater. You know what I mean? Which I was too early to put them in that category. I just think, I'm making videos, everyone's a hater.
Yeah.
But that's wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. So I've learned a lot about looking at those criticisms.
Yeah.
Because I take them on board now. People they might not go about it the right way, but they're trying to help you.
Yeah. Some people do genuinely just want to say, hang on a minute, mate, you're not doing that right. Or,
yeah. But there's a lot of it. A lot of people that just want to be right, Robbie. So it's very difficult. I don't really read the comments too much now.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you ever engage with it all?
No, it's difficult. So you lose that connection with your audience, the people that watch.
That's what I mean. Where's that line? Do you engage with the ones that are just positive, or do you just try and not engage at all?
No, I never engage with the negative ones because I know what they're up to.
Yeah.
You know, it never goes anywhere. I have done in the past.
Just trying to goad you.
Just as experiments. Yeah. And I'm writing every single one. There was one guy called Andy, if you're watching Andy.
If that's your real name.
I did a cutout, just a conversion, like a window to a door, French doors. Me and my dad did.
Was that recently?
No, it was. I think it might have been a couple of years ago. It might have been.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we did a cracking job.
Yeah.
And all right, we just trimmed up the sides to the reveals.
Yeah.
Now, his comment was you should return each brick, so tooth each brick out and return it so the face of the brick is thingy. Loads more work. You'd have to charge a load more to the customer.
Yeah.
And we covered the ends anyway and sealed it up so you couldn't even see.
Yeah.
And he was going on and on and on. I'm like, geez, I'm gonna check this lad out.
Yeah.
Went on his website, and you'll not believe it, but I found a job where he cut out a door and he left all the reveals out.
Really?
Honestly. So you've got some cheek, you mate.
Yeah.
His head blew up.
Oh, mate.
So, criticising people, there's a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Involved. They just want to be right. Just want to be somebody. I just let them talk because it makes the video more viral. It gets me more money. So at the end of the day, they're putting my money in my bank. So just crack on.
I don't think a lot of them realise.
Crack on, lads. Yeah. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They're like, why? Why have you done this?
Because you've just watched my video 500,000 times, mate. That's why.
Just because I like it.
Yeah. Has it ever got to you though?
Yeah, loads of times. Because when you're out with my family down in Wales enjoying myself, this comment can come through, and it's like sometimes it just pops up on your phone. I mean, I've had to.
For fuck's sake.
I know, yeah. It's like I'm an insult. It's like it never stops, Robbie. So
Does it not?
You know, it's tough, like. But like you said,
you just got to turn off from it, though, haven't you?
James Wade, famous dart player, reached out to me once. He says, "Stu, it's going to get a lot worse the more people know you.
Yeah.
Just have to take it on the chin. It's going to make you stronger."
Yeah.
And it definitely has. So, I just said people are idiots. And as well, online, they're worse.
Well, they're behind a keyboard, aren't they?
Yeah.
They would not say the shit that they're saying to you on that screen and to your face, would they?
There's that sense of anonymity. So they can say it behind the screen.
Yeah.
It makes them 10 times harder. They
Yeah,
would
of course
never
it
say
does.
the things they do to my face. No one's ever said anything to my face, really. I think one guy made a bit of a comment in Hughes Gray one time. He said, "Oh, it's the best bricky or something." It's a bit, I forgot what he said.
I'd have just been like, "Yeah, do you want me to sign your trowel, mate?" Or something. You know what I mean?
The name, it was just like spin the moment, best bricky. Just what can I call it?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking fast. These bricklaying videos were taking off. I was like, right,
I need
2016.
I need identity.
Name, website, something catchy. Click it all together.
Bosh.
Design the website. No thought in it.
Yeah.
And then people interpret it as
he thinks he's the best bricky.
I am the best bricky. That's what I said to people. There's no I am at the front of it.
Yeah.
It's best bricky. It just says something to aspire to be.
Something I fucking thought.
And at the end of the day, Robbie, it's maybe improve yourself.
Yeah, because you want to be the best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's no
You know what
harm
I
in
mean?
that,
No,
man.
it's
We,
somebody else.
you know, I want to be the best in my field. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I can't call it moderately average
moderately
bricklaying.
average bricky, yeah.
Doesn't turn in on a Monday.
Mediocre bricklaying. Do you know what I mean? No one's gonna fucking come and
No.
I see that. Yeah.
And it's just tied in with everything else. Like Best Bricky Academy, it's just one of them, isn't it? But I mean, people are allowed their opinions, and that's another thing as well. Another thing with the comments is crazy. Like, you build things the way the customer wants it.
Yeah.
The customer's made up, and then you get the people saying, "Oh well, I'd have done."
The customer's always right.
I'd have done something different. I'd have done this different. Well, what are you telling me for? I'll give you the customer's number. Tell them.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. Yeah. I've had that before. People
It's
used to do it like this.
unbelievable.
And if people want things a certain way, i.e., how it looks when it finishes, like
Yeah.
certain colours, and they want their slabs laid a certain way, or they want I've done some jobs before for people where I've gone, I would really advise against that because it's not going to look that nice. And they're like, no, that's what I want. I'm like, fine, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
And they're happy with it at the end.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it thinking, I would not have that in my garden.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, is it?
No.
They're paying you to do it in theirs.
Yeah. Exactly.
On their property.
And it's just pure sanctimony. People just want to get one over you,
Yeah.
or feel like they do, and
Feel like they know it.
And there's another experiment. Sometimes I leave a purposeful mistake in there,
See, it gets
So-
picked up.
and those videos go way viral.
Fucking
So
hell, I bet they do. I bet they trigger people though, don't it?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
yeah. If you leave something in a little half brick, or you've not brushed this off,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
put your bond a bit off.
Messy trowel on the floor,
Yeah.
you haven't washed it or
I thought,
something.
oh, this one's going to go viral.
Yeah. Mate, that's awesome though, because
Yeah.
you've obviously over time you've realised that is what is going to get your engagement up.
Yeah.
That is what is
Well, yeah, it's been a learning curve,
Yeah.
a learning process, and
Yeah.
I'm experienced in making those videos for such a long time
Yeah.
now. I've seen the platforms change vast.
you know what
yeah.
you like to keep your finger on the pulse with what's going on.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the short videos
I know
and things.
when to put things in videos, what to
Yeah.
put up front. Like
Yeah.
I used to have the logo in the front of my videos. Scrap that straight away. Go straight into the content. That's what people are there for.
Yeah.
They're not really there for your logo.
No intro, just boom. Straight.
No, yeah. People don't care about your logo really.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, especially on YouTube, it's where people learn skills for free, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what I started.
Yeah.
So and that's what they want. You know,
Yeah,
they
they
don't
want
want.
the information.
Yeah, they don't want. Every time I watch a video, I want to learn some information. There's always a 15-second logo. I always skip that.
Yeah.
So
you're not
you-
interested in who.
Learn from your own behaviors. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
If people
yeah.
are doing that, or whatever you do, you just think about it and just incorporate it
same.
into your own way you work.
Yeah. So how's that been? I mean, obviously you've done the YouTube. You're doing that for what? 2016. You said you started. Yeah.
2014 started, but the bricklaying is when I focus. 2017 is bricklaying. I focus solely, yeah. So that right up until this point, don't get me wrong, it's difficult because to create content, I'm not a FIFA footballer, so I can't just sit at a desk.
Yeah.
I've got to go out there and do the jobs.
Yeah.
So it's got a bit tiring. I mean, I give it a good go for 5 years solid every single day.
Yeah.
Wore myself into the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a job, isn't it?
yeah.
Make sure you got all your gear with you. Oh fuck!
Well, that's it. I just
forgot my tripod. Forgot my camera.
I just think every day, Robbie, trying to sort the memory cards out,
Not just
charge
thinking
the
about your
batteries,
job.
the camera, the tripods, exactly.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, I've done everything on my own, no help. So I'm building the work.
Yeah.
Moving-
Setting your camera up and doing all that. Moving your tripod over, doing another course, fucking bringing the tripod. Oh, mate, how fucking stressful.
Because I want to do the best content
Course you
possible.
do,
So I'm
course
like
you do.
changing the angle, buying the best cameras. And in the beginning, I spent fortunes on credit cards. Don't forget, as I was struggling, I was adding more and more debt to make credit cards because that's the only way I could get. But I just believed that something was going to give and something was going to go right for me for a change.
Yeah.
So I just kept banging on the credit card, all the best cameras, all the best software,
Yeah.
laptops.
Kept doing it.
Kept doing it, and
Yeah.
I was getting small rewards, so I knew it was going to happen soon. And I was like the first one to do it on Bricklaying.
Yeah,
fortunately,
yeah.
and there was other creators there. There was none that could video edit, none that could
Yeah.
had the graphic design skills or editing skills or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I thought I had the edge there. So
Bit
that's
of a niche there.
yeah. So that's why I went full steam ahead with it. Like, if you go on YouTube now, there's
every cunt's doing
hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah.
So like saturated a bit, but that's great because more bricklayers better.
Yeah.
Loads of people can learn stuff now. But
Yeah.
in terms of making money, it just fizzles
Yeah.
out a little bit. So
Yeah.
it still gets me a bit
Did
of
you
a
make
wage.
some good money from it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning, Robbie,
Yeah.
'cause,
So obviously, it's
Yeah.
platter to it now.
and all the advertisers really the only way they can advertise in construction was like my videos. There was other creators, of course, but but it gets shared out equally as more creators come on board and then YouTube encourage new creators. By giving them boosts every now and again. But with shorts coming along as well, it's like ruined it a bit, because you've got your long form videos and then you've got your shorts, and like it's easy to get a following, I think, with the shorts.
Yeah, because they're so quick. 10, 15, 30-second videos.
So, I mean, all that work I put in early days, a lot of falling asleep at the computer, you know what I mean? Real hard work. And now I'd create a short now, 30 seconds.
And get fucking 100,000
views. But the engagement you get from it are less from the audience.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's just like people sat on the toilet flicking.
Quick flick. Oh, watch that. I'll flick off. Don't want to write on it.
So the view's not really a view, if you know what I mean. Right? It's not a real. I mean,
it's a fraction.
Yeah,
might be a 10-second of a 30-second clip that they're watching.
It's just like what do they call it? It's not like a dedicated view. It's not like a real person interested in your stuff.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But TikTok's to blame for that.
Yeah, that's ruined it really.
Ruined social media in a way, because they've all had to copy it because of the popularity of it. In the early days, there was, what was it? Vine. Remember Vine? Yeah, that was really popular.
Yeah, it was.
And that was short form videos, but it's come back now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
with TikTok, and then that's exploded because YouTube's had to take it on with shorts. You've got Reels, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah,
it's just the way people consume content, and as well now on the phone vertically.
Yeah.
Instead of the old days with YouTube,
flip it on its side, you've got to have it on a telly to watch it nice or something.
Yeah, so everything's on the mobile now, so that's where the focus should be, on your mobile.
So listening to you so far, it sounds like you've had like quite a good view, and you've made good judgment on what's happened with YouTube. What's next? What's, in your opinion? We just spoke about short form video content being the current thing. What's next? In your opinion, do you think?
With technology?
Yeah, what's the next thing? What's the next big thing? Like, what should people like you be thinking about? Content creators, and what's next? I
think it's just solely mobile, vertical content. In terms
just video.
Yeah. Maybe
short form.
Yeah, short form or long form even, because they have up the minimum times now on Facebook, Instagram.
90 seconds.
Yeah,
now,
it used to be like 60 seconds on Instagram, but now they're up, and it just shows you that they're constantly updating things. So just to keep in check and keep updated
with what people are doing.
Yeah, but it's so hard to keep on top of it all, because each platform's different, and you have to keep on top of the changes and like
trends,
tags, and
it boggles my head, mate.
Yeah,
I used to think I was quite on top of it, but now I'm getting more into it seriously now. I'm like, this is a job.
It's a job in itself, Robbie. And it's good. It's got a bit tiring for me.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I can imagine.
And I just I'm still ticking over with the videos.
Do you still post as often as you used to?
No, nowhere near. I used to post every day. I used to hammer it every single day.
And a video every day?
Yeah. You had to get almost every day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get rewarded, don't you, from YouTube? They love you posting every day. So, but just every now and again, I might do the odd job. And like I said, the main focus now for me is development. Yeah, went on that property developers course. Andy Hubbard, brilliant, really enjoyed it. Another learning curve, opened my eyes. I could have tried and learned to do it on myself with YouTube, listening from this guy, listening from that guy. Don't want to waste a lot of time.
Straight to
invest a bit of money.
Yeah.
It always works. Just invest some of your money and your time.
Yeah, into yourself.
Yeah. And learn from somebody who's doing what you want to do. Yeah. And exactly, from bricklayer to
well, he's done exactly what he's made that transition that you now want to make.
Exactly.
So all you've got to do technically is follow in his footsteps as such,
right? Yeah.
So that is your next step.
That's the next step for me, yeah. That's so just looking at some land in Preston at the minute, hoping to get an option agreement sorted on that one, and we can get progressing with that once we've got all the checks in place.
When did you go on Andy's blueprint?
It was 2021, I think, October.
Yeah, I think you were a couple of months after, or the year after me.
The year after you, I think it was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you were, because you were on it with Daz Walker, was it?
Daz Walker,
big guy from Leeds.
Yeah, Daz.
He's here next week. I love Daz.
Oh, is he on next week?
He's
brilliant.
He's here next Friday. I fucking love him.
Good lad.
He's here next week. And who else? Gary.
Yes.
Gary Bond.
Yeah,
big
Gary Bond.
He's from where I live.
Yeah, he's saying Gary.
Yeah, so that was actually, I think that was the first one that Andy did with Liam.
It was. That was when,
It was. So, again, that was quite a while ago now. So what happened after that? Did you I mean, it's obviously taken you quite a while to get onto the development train since going on that 3 day to now. So what's been happening in that gap? Have you found any potential developments in that time?
Yeah, well, there was one in Wigan, but it was for 8 semi-detached houses. The numbers stacked on it, but we couldn't make the offer that he wanted.
He wanted too much money.
Yeah, it was up for 600. We offered 425, I think it was.
Yeah.
But we had to get development finance, and then someone came in at 515. So I think that was a guy already got his own capital. Could just offer it all.
Wasn't borrowing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The problem.
That is it, and that's the challenge, isn't it? In the first one, trying to get that first one over the line, Robbie, it's hard, and that development's in process now, so it's a bit gutting, like. But there's always something else that didn't happen.
Are you doing this venture into property? Are you doing it on your own?
No, I'm working with a partner, and he's an electrician in Wigan.
Yeah.
His name's Lee. He was actually the first guy ever to come for a bricklaying lesson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was really cool. Kept in touch since then.
Yeah.
And he's been interested in property. He's got a successful electrical business in Wigan, doing really well. Loads of lads working for him.
Yeah.
He wants to move into property. So he said he's found a piece of land in Preston. He said, "Do you want to come on board with us, Stu?" I said, "I'm there."
Let's do it.
So it's just working together with Lena, just trying to get all our ducks in a row and try and present a proper offer, and then go from there. So that would be great. I don't want to continue struggling on my own, Robbie. You know, I can't. I accept I need help. You know, it's hard.
Well, you could probably do it on your own, but it'd take you probably
exactly
2-3 times as long.
Exactly the time.
And exactly. If you can half that by halving it with someone else, achieve your goals in half the time. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I was just at a do the other week, and there was a guy called Mike. He's just done his development on his own.
Yeah,
built like, I think it was 8 small houses in Wigan, terrace. And he said, "Stu, it's nearly killed me."
Really?
Yeah. He said, "I won't be doing that again."
Yeah.
Yeah. So got to be careful, haven't you? I mean,
it's hard.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's like every day grinding.
It is, and we've come. I mean, like, we've just sold our bungalow we built last year, and I mean, I didn't find the physical building part of it difficult, because it's what I do anyway, day in, day out, project managing. I didn't find that bit of it hard.
Yeah.
It was everything else that went with it.
Yeah.
The time, the knockbacks, the solicitors, the pure incompetence of professional people that you're paying big money to do their job, be a solicitor, doing it wrong, and then which is putting months onto your time frame. Like, that was what I found hard to deal with, like, because it has a ripple effect on everything else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd borrowed money from friends, family to do things, and then we're not getting the money for another 2 or 3 months, and then I've got to turn around and tell my friends and family that they've got not that it was an issue, they didn't mind, but I minded.
Yeah, sets the schedule back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not, and you just got to go with your tail between your legs, and then sorry guys, and it ain't been fucking easy.
No.
But what has made it easier for me, and I do say this to everyone, and you've just said it there, is working with other people and having a joint venture partner or someone as in business with that you can bounce off and share the load with.
Exactly. That's all it's about, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So, and like you say, with your both backgrounds, you're bricky and do other trades as well, and he's a sparky. That's brilliant partnership, I think.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Definitely need the help, but that's where we're looking now. I mean, I just think it's going to be hard work. It's the world of the unknown for me. Totally. Yeah. I'm used to that. I'm used to going outside my comfort zone and what I know.
Yeah.
Just pushing in the right directions, networking, talking to the right people, elevating yourself. I've dropped pretty much all my friends from like my youth, so it's trying to find new people who you can talk to, make those new connections.
When did you find yourself making them disconnections from the people you grew up with?
Well, my 20s was a bit of a blur, really.
Was it?
Just,
Partying,
living for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then just a vicious cycle, you know. And before you know it, you're 29.
And that probably fed into your depression as well.
Yeah,
didn't it?
I think so. Being lost, you know, when you start getting a bit older, you just know you've wasted so much time.
Yeah, that hurts as well.
Yeah.
Because I've sat there a lot of times and I thought, fucking hell, like you just said, your 20s was a blur. My mid-teens to mid-20s was a blur. Like from the 15 to 25. Shit time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't honestly sit here and say, like, look back and say it was positive, because there was times during that period where I didn't truly believe that I'd make it through. There were times where I thought that was it. Do you know what I mean? I always had a belief in myself, but sometimes at the odd time, the darkness crept in.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to get through it.
Tough.
So it was shit. And that's why I like to sit here now, talk with people like you, and do this. Because fucking hell, even if only 50 people, 100 people, 10 people even listen to this, and one person out of that 10 goes, you know what? If them boys can do it, why can't I do it?
Exactly.
And that's what I want to get into people's heads. It's
exactly.
Like,
right.
I did it from a place of real low darkness, and so have you. Do you know what I mean? You've come through it. You're successful. You're now, going on to chase your property dreams. You've built your YouTube. You've made a success out of that after many failures.
Yeah.
Like I did. I failed in loads of shit before I found something that worked.
Yeah.
But I think it's key to understand, if anyone's sitting out there now, is to have resilience. If there's any advice you could give someone, like say you had to give someone 3 bits of advice who was thinking about starting their own business or their own brand or whatever, what would that be?
I'd just say, don't be afraid to explore your capabilities. Robbie, just keep trying. Obviously, with every failure, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Don't treat it as a failure. And just keep your head up and keep going, type of thing, keep throwing the muck at the wall. If something doesn't work, don't get too far down, and try and explore your capabilities, because you're probably more than likely going to be able to be capable of more than you think.
Yeah. Be willing to change and adapt.
Yeah, another thing, having that self-awareness, having that level of self-awareness, just to look inward at your own errors and don't blame other people.
And be willing to accept that we all do things wrong.
Yeah, exactly. There comes a time where you need to just look at yourself and just accept, like, you've made some bad choices, or
look past your ego.
You're in the situation because of everything you've done, you've chosen to do, and you can't point the finger at other people, governments, all the crap that's happening in the news and stuff like that.
It's a lot of us are it's choice, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm big influence by Jordan Peterson. He's been a massive influence on my life, like responsibility for your own life and your own choices. You know what I mean? You can do more than you think possible.
Yeah.
If you just explore yourself and just go for it, type of thing.
100%, mate. I think that's right. I mean, that's all I've ever done is believe that I could do more than what I think I can do.
Yeah.
Or what I've been led to believe I think I could do.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier about being conditioned at school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've always thought I was better than that. And I think that's what's been one of my drivers through this whole time, is that I've always felt that I could do better and do a bit more and bigger than anyone or anything ever thought I could.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to put into words and articulate.
I think one of it's being scared of having those regrets later on in life.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's a big fear for me.
Yeah, same.
And a shocking story for me was in Jordan Peterson's first book. His friend Chris, he committed suicide because he wasn't living up to his expectations and living up to his intellectual capability, and it ate him alive, and he ended up working jobs beneath his intellectual capacity. And he ended up killing himself. So that really scared me, that. And I'm like, I need to explore my intellectual capability as well. So I
do you know what?
Doing a degree in psychology.
I can really relate to that though. Like when you just said it, because there's been, I'm not afraid to admit it, like over the past year, like there might be moments, not necessarily long periods of time anymore, because I'm a lot better in my mind state nowadays.
Yeah.
But there are times where I sit there and I am overwhelmingly disappointed in myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not where I know I could have been.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does really hurt, and sometimes I am so, like, I know, like you said, his best mate killed himself because he weren't living up to his own expectations. I fucking thought, fuck hell, I feel like I could do that sometimes. Not that I want to, because I've got my little kiddies to live for and all this, that, and the other. But I genuinely feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, and I think to some degree there's that in us all, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do feel that, but I think it's an error to think that. I think you are where you are because of the situation you're in the minute. It doesn't mean anything bad.
It doesn't define you.
No, it doesn't define you or where you're going to go. It's just, you can't force it. I think you just got to let things happen naturally, because as soon as you try and start forcing something, it goes the other way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, much like you've realised throughout the things that you've tried throughout your life, you've tried certain things and it's not happened, and you haven't let it phase you.
No.
You've just picked yourself up, dusted yourself off,
Yeah.
and tried something else.
Well, yeah, the rollover, play dead, or you
well, that's
go
it.
the other way.
Yeah.
It's just no.
I've never been one to roll over and just
No, I'm not.
let things happen to me. Like,
No.
I've always been one to be like, okay, come on. You know, it's not the end of the world. You're still breathing. Let's
Yeah.
get up and do it again.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to have that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, to succeed in any walk of life, whatever professional career that you're choosing, you want to be successful in. I think you've got to have that resilience, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
What's the biggest thing you've learned in business, mate, or over the past 10 years? What you know, since you started your career, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Biggest lesson I've learned? I don't know. I guess I'm just continually finding things like that out. You know, I've just moved into studying a psychology degree, as you
Have
do,
you?
3 years ago. Again, just I was playing with the idea of doing it, but because I'm so inspired by Jordan,
You're like me, mate. You just get you get these crazy ideas, and you're like, I'm fucking doing that.
Well, again, regrets. I don't want to get to the end of life and think, I wish I'd have done that.
Yeah,
and
I love that, mate.
I'm halfway through it now. Just going through a module, which is exploring mental health and counselling, which is it's pretty scary module, like, you know what I mean? Just to understand myself more, you know, the problems I've had, understand people so I don't get taken advantage of again, you know, things like that. And it's been really, really interesting, you know, and I've probably 3 more years to go on that. I might take a year out next year because, again, lots of plates spinning, like you do, take these crazy things on. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really going to benefit from it, I guess. I don't know why I did it, but you know, you just get these feelings, and I'll tell you something.
Urges.
I went to a Jordan Peterson. He was doing like a seminar in Manchester at the Apollo last year, and like I was like made up because I did book tickets for him a couple of years ago, and then that COVID happened and stuff. So I was gutted about that. Booked to pay for them, couldn't make it. So I finally got the tickets booked. Went. Brilliant. He came out. His wife came out, Tammy, in the beginning, and he was just doing like a Q&A, and then you could send your questions in through this app on your phone.
Yeah.
So I sent my question in, and then people were upvoting it, a bit like Reddit, you know, upvoting, downvoting the questions.
Yeah.
And come to half time, and my questions started rising. Like I was like, he could answer this.
Yeah. What was your question?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, he come out second half. He answered my question in front of 3,500 people. I was bawling my eyes out. You know,
Was you?
Yeah, it's crazy. The question was, I'm a bricklayer that was inspired by you to embark on a psychology degree, which I'm halfway through. What is it that orients us to make these life choices? And he went, wow, there's a question. He said, it's always good to inspire the bricklayers. I have recorded it. I'm going to make a video about it.
Yeah,
but it was great, you know what I mean? Basically, the premise of it was just said, like, heed the call. I mean, you get these callings in life.
Yeah.
And you just got to listen to them and go in that direction. Yeah, exactly, Robert. If you can't leave it, and if I get a call in that way, I'm going to go. You know, I'm not afraid to.
You know what? That's it's like a divine, like a higher power almost. That it's like this. Yeah. I get that because that's kind of why I do this, and I want to eventually go into coaching and mentoring. That's my goal.
Yeah,
I want to build. I want to carry on developing and doing my bread and butter shit. But ultimately, I'd love to coach people about mindset, business.
Yeah,
you know, because I've come through from some really dark times where. You know, I've had friends that have committed suicide when they were going through similar times like that and haven't come out the other end. Luckily, you know, I've been able to come through that like yourself. You've come through it, and there's value in that. If you can like change one person's life through your experience and sharing your experiences with them, that's me. That's success to me.
Yeah,
that's what it means to me. Being in that position to be able to do that. So whether I've built a successful career that then enables me to go out and give back. Then that's what it looks like, success to me. Yeah. You know, that's what I want to do is really help people. Yeah. And I get that sort of vibe from you as well. Yeah,
100%. Really. I mean, been through a similar thing to yourself. Like, you get through these things, and then you just think, well, you know other people out there are struggling. Everybody's got their own struggles.
And not everyone has that thing inside them. Like we were just saying, like the calling or this feeling to know that you're going to be all right. Yeah. No matter what. Yeah. Not everyone's got that. Some people get eaten up and become a statistic. Yeah. Don't they? Yeah. Without guidance, without help. They don't get the help they need. They become a number. They become a statistic. suicide statistic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One of my friends, just before the virus thing started, I think he saw what was coming with all this, what went on in the last 3 years. Ended up killing himself, had enough. Like, you know, it just was too much for him.
Really?
And people don't survive, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and in Wigan in particular, they have the highest rates of suicide per 100,000 people in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try and I'm going to try and get to the bottom of it, type of thing. With all this, I'm studying as well. Don't get me wrong, I'm still early days. I've a load to learn, Robbie.
Mate,
you know
that's brilliant. I'm loving that you're doing it. Well done.
Yeah,
doing it.
Yeah, and it is fascinating. But counselling in itself it's a really intense thing. I don't think I could ever be a counsellor, but I just want to be more knowledgeable about it and qualified. And qualified, because I think there's a lot of people talking about mental health as well. They're not really. I mean, qualified. I know they've got experience in it, which is fine. They can pass on the knowledge, but not professionally. But I think there's a lot of that involved in social media, and it needs to be.
There's loads. Right? You know, it's quite dangerous.
It needs to be reined in a little bit.
Like
as
you
well.
Get people on the TikTok, and they're crying on their cameras
Yeah,
and that, and I'm like, whoa, this is like, how are you helping someone that's got mental health problems by doing that?
Yeah.
By who's struggling with their own emotions, and you're on the camera crying into the camera, like physically showing you. How is that helping the other person? I'm not quite sure about that.
I think they're just playing on it, aren't they? And all they can seem to say is mental health, but like, what is it? You know, where does it start, and how do you get past it? And I just think we all have our problems, but
it's a bandwagon that a lot of people have jumped on, though, haven't they?
Yeah,
which I find
100%.
It makes it harder for people who are genuinely suffering, though.
Yeah.
Because they're already scared to speak out as it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got these people that are using it as a scapegoat, really, that don't mind being a dickhead about it and crying on camera and saying, I've got mental health problems.
Yeah.
And you've actually got people in the next room or space around them, people that are actually suffering and scared to talk out because they're being made a mockery of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And just on that point, like in construction on its own, like we have the highest rates of suicide.
It's the highest industry with male suicide in the world.
Yeah.
Why is that, Stuart?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, like going back to the banter thing on site, you don't want to show any weakness.
Yeah. You put your hard hat on. Yeah. You put your coat on. You almost become a bit of a different person, don't you?
Yeah. There's a lot of bravados on site, isn't there? You know, it's just a facade.
Yeah. There's also a lot of emotion, though. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys, like, you know, that probably shouldn't be around fucking machinery and sharp tools, mate. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do you think that's because of the low entry level required to get into construction?
Possibly.
I.e., you can just go down the job centre. I don't know if you can now. It used to be like this. You can just go down the job centre. They'll put you on the CSCS course. You get your course paid for. All you got to do is go and sit at the touch screen, which, fuck me, you could answer that if you couldn't read. Do you know what I mean? You should be able to.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, and because the barrier to entry is so low into construction, do you think that is some of the problem?
I think so, Robbie. I'm just still trying to get to the bottom of it, but I think there's a lot of alcohol, drug abuse. That's you know, that's rife.
Yeah, but do you think that's because
it's a tough job?
It's a tough job.
It's a tough bloody job. You know what I mean?
And you've got to have. I mean,
tough environment.
I've been in it, so have you.
Yeah.
When you're on the Monday and it's pissing down with rain every day of the week, you're out in it. You're trying to earn your bread. And all you want is just that Friday to come along.
That's it.
So you haven't got to experience it for 48 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like that's it. You're working all week, grafting early finish Friday. Sometimes you can't wait to go out and have a beer with the lads. It's absolutely brilliant that day, and then Sunday comes, you might have another beer then, and then it's just a vicious cycle. It's like how can you get out of that loop? That's the question I've tried to ask myself. Like,
It's also, I'd just like to highlight that it is okay to stay a part of that loop as well if you're happy doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like I said to someone the other day, in this ecosystem that we live in, the world, we need worker bees, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, because if everyone was aspiring to be a top-level businessman or a business owner, then it'd be a bit of an uglier place to live in.
We'd have no workers, would we?
We'd have no workers.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like there's
that's definitely a point, Robin. I think that goes down to personality types.
Yeah. Because not everyone wants to aspire to be a successful businessman.
No.
Some people would be happy with a career managing Tesco's. No, but
I wish I was that person.
Yeah, mate. I think it'd be a lot less stressful.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
100%.
it would be.
But then as well, there's a personality element to that. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've done a personality test.
What, like a disc profile thing?
It's like the big 5 traits, which are openness,
yeah.
extroversion,
Yeah.
conscientiousness.
Yeah, disc profile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then well, I'm high in openness, which is the part of the creativity dimension.
Yeah,
openness and conscientiousness, which
Yeah.
mean I'm like meticulous, do my job properly, which is
Yeah, you're a
It's
high C and a high S or an I in a disc.
yeah,
in the
something
disc
like
category.
that. And then there's agreeableness, which is like it's more like
You're a yes man.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I'm not a yes man.
Yeah,
I'm
not.
disagreeable.
Yeah, I'm like down here on that.
Yeah, but I
scale.
think you can learn a lot from that personality test.
Yeah, you
just
can.
to see what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, because it enables you to realise where oh shit, I might not be good in that area. I done it a few months ago. I've never done one before. My partner was like, "Oh, you're a high D, you are. You're a high D." And I'm like, "What the fuck's a high D?" I know what a D is, mate, and I am not one, and you are, right? But he's like, "No, you're a high D, a high I." And I'm like, "What is that?" And it's like basically you like being in charge. You're like power driven, and you're an influencer. You like creating, and you like this, and this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, done the test, and it was like, boom, high D and I, exactly what you said, and the other two were like off the scale low. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was reading through the whole report because it gives you a big report, PDF, like 10 pages. And I'm reading through it. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
Bang on to the money. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my personality traits, the way I do things, it's me. It was bang on.
And that's it. It's been studied for over 30 years, so it is.
Yeah.
By psychologists, and it's been fantastically studied. And
Did you find it helpful when you done it about yourself?
yeah, 100%. Because when I read about openness, it was just like, that is me.
Yeah,
I'm like artistic. I like creating things.
Yeah,
I get, I'm conscientious.
Yeah.
I like to do the best job I can possibly do.
Yeah.
If I lay a wrong brick, I'll take it off and I'll put it
Do it
back. I
again.
can't move on until the brick's perfect.
Yeah.
That can be a problem at times, but
Yeah.
but if it's not right, I can't leave it. I won't be able to sleep at night.
You won't just tuck it up, move it over 5 mil or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And any artwork I do, I want to do a perfect job there as well.
Yeah.
But I think you can learn a lot from your personality, so that'll dictate what type of job you should go into. And I think it's good.
What sort of people you should work with.
Yeah, but also I think it's good for you to know that as a parent, so you can identify that in your own children,
your kids.
and then kind of like spot what they're
Nurture the
doing.
other
And
things,
say, well, he's quite creative. He's a good drawer, right?
Yeah,
Maybe he should be in the artistic field, which I was a good drawer when I was younger.
Yeah.
And things like that. It's just trying to
hone in on that.
I think it's really useful. So if
it.
anybody's out there, go and check on a personality test.
Yeah, I'd also recommend doing that. I mean, the one that I did is a personality test, but it is a disc profile. Have you ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Yes.
So it's on his website. So if you go on tonyrobbins.com/disc or something like that, or go on Google Tony Robbins disc profile, you can get it on there, and you can either do the free one, which gives you a basic level of knowledge or a basic insight to your profile. But if you pay like £3, gives you like the whole report, 10-page PDF each. You know what I mean? Really breaks it down. And I found that really interesting, and I actually probably learned a little bit more about myself that I probably didn't know or didn't care to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Well, it can be harsh, can't it, sometimes?
It is. Looking at yourself in the mirror and admitting where your weaknesses are is hard.
It is.
Especially as a bloke.
But it's like a rebirth, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's happened with me. It's like, okay, you're doing all these things wrong, Stu. Like, come on, get yourself
you can
together.
Get better than this.
Like, this is the first step. You've
highlighted
acceptance. It. Like, you can't keep ignoring it because you're getting older.
Totally.
And you're still living at home.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you sort yourself out. So since them points, you're like, wow, it works.
Got to do this.
But it's just taking that, being accountable, I think, Robbie.
Definitely. I agree.
And like big influence, Jordan Peterson, and in the early days, what woke me up a little bit was Grant Cardone.
Yeah. I love Grant Cardone.
Really into Grant Cardone. When I was struggling in 2014, I reached out to him. I said, Grant, I'm struggling. I'm doing this. I'm this and that. And he replied to me like, he said, okay, so you don't worry about it. Reach out to my team and do this and do this. And I thought it was nice that he reached out.
Yeah.
I think I've still got that email. But,
have you?
But yeah, he was a big influence. Grant kind of woke me up a little bit. Like, I can't keep living under mum and daddy's rules and stuff like that. It's the truthful things like that,
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from him and Grant Cardone. Books, I'm not sure what books you've read.
I was reading the 10X rule. I've only read that.
Yeah. I was reading a load of different books, I just found a hunger for reading.
Yeah, I've found that recently.
Yeah. Just because you get hungry for knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
I used to think I knew it all, Stu.
That's it, and that's one of the dangers of educating yourself. You realise how much you do not know.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing.
But I was well open to it when I admitted to myself, okay, mate, you don't know everything. Admit that to yourself.
Yeah.
And I was happy that I did that in my early 20s when I started my business. And I was like, right, come on, now's your time. If you're going to start a business, you need to be open and willing to take things on board and learn as you go along. Because I weren't a business graduate.
No.
Never done business at school.
Me neither.
Yeah. So I was like totally like, fucking hell, how do I run a business? A business.
I know.
Like, don't have a clue.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Much like yourself.
Yeah.
So I learned from the fucking start, and I was always willing to be told. Like if my accountant phoned me up and said, listen, you can't do that. You need to do it like this. I'd be like, brilliant. Thanks for telling me. Because obviously I didn't know. Do you know what I mean? I'm always, and that's key as well, I think, in business, when you're learning and when you're starting out and, trying something new, always be willing to adapt and be open to change, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And that's one of the difficult things of trying to start a business with absolutely no experience, no help. Your mum and dad don't have a clue about business. How do you start? Where do you start?
Yeah.
And I, for one, have made every mistake in the book.
I have.
I learn through the brown letters coming through the
Same.
bills, fines. I've been fined for absolutely everything, but it's like a lesson.
Yeah, you won't do it again, will you?
No,
you'll know next year.
Honestly, it's unbelievable all the mistakes I made. It's like just doing everything like against the grain. It's just so difficult when you don't come from a background. It makes you a bit bitter about those people born into businesses. And
just had it given to them.
There was a guy at our golf club, mum and dad, successful businesses, and he just totted off and made his own bathroom company, worldwide famous, successful. I'm like, it's just a bit frustrating. But again, you look at that and you think, right, okay, well, I'll just have to try harder.
I'll have to do what he didn't do.
Yeah.
Put the foundations in yourself.
But it's tough. It really is tough. But I guess, like, if you're just willing to go for it, make those mistakes, you'll find a way. And
you will.
Even though it has been tough, I'm struggling a bit, but I'm getting there, you know, with less and less brown envelopes coming through the door.
Same
and fine.
They still come every now and then, to be
fair. Yeah. But it's a learning curve.
So what's next for Stu Crompton then, mate? What's the next big thing for you now?
Well, just continuing trying to sort this development. Recently got married in the Philippines with my now wife.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're working on a visa. She's going to arrive in the UK.
How is she?
So that's been another thing, another plate been spinning. But
so we didn't really touch on that.
No. Yeah.
Bless her. She's lovely. That's her
name
as well, isn't
I
it?
know. Yeah, when I first met her, I said, "What's your name?" She said, "Lovely." I said, "I know you're lovely, but."
That's similar to what I said to her when I met her. I was like, "Oh, that's lovely. What's your name?" She was like, "No, lovely." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's your name."
Yeah. Well, basically, we've just been talking for friends for many, many years.
Yeah.
And then just decided to meet.
What was like pen pals online?
Well, just chatting online every now and again, just checking in. And then just decided to meet up, and then went from there. Really, COVID messed us up because we was planning to meet up and start a family, and then
not that easy.
That just said, COVID said actually you can't start a family, so that was tough. But here we are.
So you're married now.
Married now, and
so what's the next step with that?
Well, we want to start having children, so that's the next thing, Robbie. Hopefully we can have children in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Get a development secured under our belt.
Yeah.
Continue just making a few videos, odd jobs here or there.
Yeah.
More connections, partnerships.
So she's still in the Philippines at the moment?
Yeah. And just keep trying new things. I finished the psychology degree. Like I said, I might be taking a year out next year. Yeah. And I would like to write a book.
Well, I think you should, mate.
I thought a good title would be "The Problem Is You." But
that's fucking good. That's a good title.
But yeah, that's like gonna. I hate saying I'm gonna do something.
Surely you've got to do a book about like being the first YouTube sensation.
Well, yeah,
you got to. Surely,
yeah, you never know, do you?
You got to.
The thing is, there's a million things I want to talk about, Robbie. It's crazy. That's why I want to go into podcasting myself.
Yeah.
I would like to get that started.
Definitely a good medium you should get into.
Yeah. But then I might have to separate it from the Bricklaying channel because.
Well, that's what I did. That's why the tea hut isn't Goldbrooke Homes.
Is it? Yeah.
It's the tea hut.
And you don't want to limit yourself just to one thing. You want to talk about many different things because there's a lot of things to talk about, isn't there?
It's not just about building houses.
Yeah, you want to learn off other people, listen to the stories. Yeah.
And that's, interviewing. And that's what I wanted to get into this, is make it an interview show and have people learning from each other. You know, not just telling people how to do things your way. It's like, well, if you want to do it my way, listen to how I've done it. And then, you know, so where can people, like people who don't know you, because we've been talking for ages now, but if people have never seen you online before, or how can they find you online? How can they watch your videos, and where can they find your stuff? Yeah,
they can find me pretty much across the board at Stu Crompton, just STU Crompton, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn on there.
Yeah.
And my website's www.stucrompton.com or bestbricky.com.
Because he is the best.
BRICKY. Yeah, just find me there, I guess.
Sweet. All right then, mate. Well, it's been amazing having you in. Thanks so much for coming on.
No, been my pleasure, Rob. It's been great to talk to you, mate.
I had a great chat. I hate to kick you out because I've got someone else coming. He's probably outside now, but yeah, it's been good. And I'd like to say, like, you know, hopefully you get that development on the go soon. Let's catch up and do this again in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it again.
100%, Rob.
Hopefully you'll start yours soon, because I know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm holding you accountable on the Tea Hut. Yeah, you've told me you're doing it.
Yes.
So in 6 months or 12 months' time, I want to see you starting yours.
Yeah.
And I just want to say good luck for everything coming up, mate.
Thanks a lot, Robbie.
And thanks again for coming.
Much appreciated.
Cheers, my man.
Really
See you later.
See you later, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Tea Hut, proudly brought to you by eGrowth Media.